It's December the 12th of 2018. The emergency room at St. Rita's Medical Center has received a man with serious injuries. But after not being able to save their young patient's life, the hospital staff calls his time of death at 4 a.m. The man's name is Anthony Bankston, and he is 25 years of age when he died on this day. The paramedics brought him to this hospital after he was shot several times while standing outside a nightclub in Lima, Ohio. Investigators would soon come to believe that this was not just some random act of violence. Detectives would find a crime scene littered with shell casings, both inside and outside of the club. And as rumors begin to swirl about who might be responsible for this attack, all roads seem to lead to one particular suspect. But not just any suspect, someone who witnesses describe as having driven away in a black Dodge Charger. And due to the investigators having a plethora of surveillance footage at their disposal, the police have an idea who might be the occupants within that vehicle. So they bring in one of their suspects, 25-year-old Jamonte McNeil, to ask him about his whereabouts on the night in question and his connection to the victim. Now, before we get into the interrogation, there was this scene from a Dave Chappelle comedy show that popped in my head when I first saw this.
And you with your buddies, right? You with your buddies, you got a couple drinks in you, and you see guys, you might try to talk to her. This might not come out right now. I don't know what you say. Damn, look at the titties! Right? The girl gets mad and says, oh, wait a minute. Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a whore. Which is true. Gentlemen, that is true. Just because they dress a certain way doesn't mean they are a certain way. Don't ever forget it. But ladies, you must understand that is fucking confusing. Just is. Now that would be like me, Dave Chappelle, a comedian, walking around the streets in a cop uniform. Somebody might run up on me. Oh, thank God. Officer, help us. Come on, over here. Help us. I'm like, oh, just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a police officer. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, all right, lady, fine. You are not a whore. But you are wearing a whore's uniform, I'll tell you that.
Dave Chappelle's crazy. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what in the world does that have to do with this case? Well, let's take a look at our suspect. I mean, my man looks like he just got back from stealing cars, doesn't he?
Boss, get your cigarettes.
Yeah.
All right, man. We talked a little bit on the way down, but we never met before. Again, my name's Detective Herod. So at this point, I don't think there's any real big secret about what's going on or anything like that, or why we came to get you. Okay. So what I want to do here is, first of all, I advised you of your rights inside the car. You remember all those? Have any questions? I'm still good. Okay. I've got all your information other than the last address I had for you was that Pickerington address.
Yeah, that's my aunt's, but my mom, she moved somewhere. I don't know.
She moved recently though, didn't she?
Yeah.
Where are you? I know you kind of bounced around.
Where we used to live?
Yeah. Where's a good address for you?
It's hers, but I don't.
You don't know where she moved to? Did she move here like 3-4 weeks ago? I mean, just recently?
Yeah, she moved recently though.
Is it still in Columbus?
Yep.
Okay. Why'd she move out of? Was it that Pickerington address where she was before?
No, that's where my aunt lives. She moved because of the threats and stuff people talking.
She moved because of the threats of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
People giving threats and stuff.
Okay. You mentioned the threats on the way down. What are you talking about threats wise? I mean, what kind of stuff are they saying?
Well, like, I guess the people with a family, and well, not even a family, the family friend, well, the family and the friends of the family of Anthony's family.
Okay. Fat Man.
Yeah.
Do you know him by Fat Man? That's what everybody else calls him as. So that's what. Do you know? I mean, specifically though, do you know what they're saying, or anybody threatening you, or just your mom, or who they threatening?
They was threatening everybody.
Why? Because of this?
Yeah, they
Have they actually done anything to act out on it?
No, not that I know of. I know my grandma, she lived down here, but she moved recently to like a elderly community like that.
She used to live on Holly?
Yep.
Alright. Well, for you, you have connections both here and Columbus. Did you grow up here?
You said that I what?
Did you grow up here? Like in Lima?
I was born in Lima, yeah.
When did you move to Columbus?
I want to say like elementary. Yeah,
So
I was still
it's
in
been a while?
elementary, yeah.
Alright. Well, here's the thing. Normally, in a situation like this when we're talking to somebody, I'm guessing at this point you probably already, there's really no question on why we want to talk to you. But the way I'm looking at things, and I told you this on the way down, that really I don't need anything from you as far as, right now I know what happened. Whatever caused that to happen, or whatever the reason that things shook out the way they shook out, there's a lot of different witnesses down there, so that kind of got us to the point we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But saying that, I can also say this, that I'm missing your part of the story, because just the information that I have,
Yeah.
the reason that this happened, I'm hearing several different reasons or motives, if you want to say that, okay, that this happened, okay, and I think that makes a big part, and it makes a big difference in the way that it's perceived and the way that it's looked at, okay. So what I want and what I'd like from you is just 100% straight up answer. I mean, at this point we can't go back and change what happened, okay, we can't go back and change the facts, but perception makes a big difference, okay, and somebody showing remorse makes a big difference, and all those things play into it, okay. So looking at it from the point where we are right now, why don't you walk me through what happened that night and how we got in the spot we're in right now, and if I have questions along the way.
I think, well, what I heard was some dude named George, like my mom and them, they talked to the family, like, and I know a couple of the family members said they seen me or something, because everybody was saying my name, basically. But because Fat Man, he had a problem with my brother or something, I guess. So I guess that's one of the main reasons. But
is that the thing back in 2017 when you say your brother, are you talking Jemiah?
Yeah.
When he got put in ICU?
Yeah. And basically what I was hearing was the dude Anthony, he was saying my name. I don't even know him. I mean, not Anthony, but the other dude. I forgot his name. George.
Okay.
Yeah, they saying somebody seen, so one of the family members that told my mom that they seen him wearing gloves. They seen him shooting that night, and
You saw him wearing gloves. What do you mean wearing gloves?
like that night, I don't know. Like he had on gloves that night, so and seen him shooting or something. But
Who are you hearing that from?
my mom.
Okay. Well, you were down there the night this happened, right?
Yo, this was like before New Year's. I was in Chicago.
You're in Chicago the day this happened?
Oh yeah, I was there like a week before New Year's, but I stayed in Chicago till New Year's. I would have said I left like 2 or 3 days later from Chicago.
Okay. Well, this was on the 29th. Okay, so where were you at on the 29th?
Yeah, like a week before New Year's. So I was down there on the 29th. I want to say, what day was the 29th?
29th would have been, this happened early morning Saturday, so the 29th would have been, I'm going to pull up the calendar and show you. Okay, so here's December. Okay, so the 29th would have been a Saturday. This happened early morning Saturday, so New Year's would have been, what, about 3 days later, 2 days later?
Yeah, I want to say went to Chicago around Monday.
Around Monday being, what, the 31st? Or
No,
the week before that?
Yeah, the week before. And I left.
So the 24th?
Yeah, and I left around, this is New Year's, right? I want to say the 3rd or the 4th.
So you're saying you're in Chicago from the 24th to the 3rd or 4th, so
Yeah.
about 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Which would have meant that you couldn't have been in Lima on the 29th, right?
And I know my cousin, he in jail too now, and he ran into some of the friends in there, and they was jumping him. And
Who are you saying that? Who's
like
your...
Rasheen?
Rasheen?
And they jumped him, and they was beating him, and just
Let me stop you there, okay? Because, like I said, we didn't just... I don't know if you're familiar with the process that plays out here, okay? But in order to get a warrant for somebody, you have to have something called probable cause, okay? So when somebody loses a life, okay, it's a pretty big deal. So, I mean, that's something that we put a boatload of time into, okay? And we make sure we have all of our ducks in a row, and we do our homework. And we put hours upon hours and hours and hours into something, okay? So before we get to this point where we're sitting down in the same room talking to each other, a whole lot of work has gone into this, okay? So that whole story about being in Chicago, there ain't no truth to that at all.
You think so?
No. No. Who's that?
That's me and Zach.
It's you and Zach, right? It's about 6 hours before this happened, when you guys went into Myers, bought a bottle of Hennessy, and then left out in Zach's girl's car. And then you want to see the video? Then we got video not only from there, when you guys went down to Marco's. Basically, we can track your whole night leading up to this, okay? So what I don't want to do is... I wasn't bullshitting you when I said at the very beginning that a lot of the way people look at things depends on their perception and their understanding of why things happen the way they happen. And starting off by telling a complete bold-faced lie that we can show, I just showed in a matter of a second that it wasn't true. So we haven't even gotten into electronic records and all these. I mean, like I said, when I said we have hours of work into this, I mean hours of work into it, okay? So we have an abundance of information that got us to this point, okay? I'm not... When I told you in the car that I have no reason to lie and I'm going to be an open book, I mean, I'll tell you what we have because I'm that confident in this case, even without your story. When I said I didn't need anything from you, I meant that I would feel comfortable going to trial right now with the information we have, and I don't have any problem at all thinking that we'd have any issues at all. I'm that confident in it. But on the other hand, that's not fair to you, okay? It's not fair to present a case without getting everybody's side, okay? And that's what this is about right now. Because when I said that there's a lot of different reasons or motives that things happen, I'm 100% straight about that too, and I'm completely serious about that, because just the information I have, I can believe there are different motives and different reasons why this happened the way it happened, okay? The person that can offer those answers is you. But by starting off telling me you're in Chicago when, I mean, there ain't no truth in that whatsoever. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I was in Chicago. I just don't...
You were in Chicago, or the Chicago area, I think it was the next day or a day or two after this happened, when you went up to northern Indiana and the southern Chicago area.
He don't really stay directly in Chicago. It's on the outskirts.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. I know all that information, man. We didn't just get to this point by guessing. Okay. Coleman from CPD, he didn't show up at Janae's place on accident. Okay. I called him and told him where to go. All right. We're not just guessing our way through this. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
You have a chance to start over?
I just want to say I wasn't at that, or the location where he died at.
And tell me about that night. 100% straightforward. Tell me about that night.
Like what?
Walk me through that night. Because you started off by telling me you're in Chicago. I showed you a clip of or a still picture from when you and Zach were at Myers the night before. Okay, so I know that's not true. We got other video that tracks you throughout the night. We got phone records. We got internet records. We got all kinds of stuff that can place exactly where you were at. So the way I look at things is if somebody who is, the way I look at it, call it absolutely no question about it, if they start coming up with lies, that shows absolutely zero remorse. It shows absolutely that, you know what I'm saying, they don't feel badly whatsoever about what happened. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to start over at the beginning and walk me through. You're living in Columbus, right? How long were you in Lima when this happened, or before this happened?
I don't even remember. I wasn't there for long, for sure.
Why did you come up here that night?
I don't even think I came up here that night directly, that same night, but I know I have a family member that lay down here. We taking him back down here.
Who's that?
Marquise. He came to stay with us in Columbus.
Marquise who?
Johnson.
He got shot at the next weekend.
Yeah.
That have anything to do with what happened here?
I think so. I don't know though. I'm pretty sure it has.
Okay. So you came up here. How did you get up here?
My brother's girlfriend.
Who's that?
His girlfriend?
Yeah. What's her name?
I don't know. I don't even know. Kale. I know he called her Kale, but I don't know her full name.
He calls her Kale?
Kale.
Okay. When you say your brother, are you talking Jemiah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, give me a ballpark. What time do you think you got to Lima?
I really don't remember. I know it's probably still daylight, or just now getting dark.
Okay. So you get to Lima. Marquise with you at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where do you guys go from there?
His house.
Marquise's house?
Mm-hmm.
Where's he living at here?
South with his mom.
Way south? I mean,
yeah.
Are you talking like even south of like 4th Street? Like way out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you go there first. Where do you go from there?
I think I stayed there with him for a minute.
What about after that? I mean, you left at some point.
Yeah. And I think we went to go get the bottom.
You went where?
To get the bottom.
Okay. So we skipped a point at that point then because you left out the. How'd you get with Zach? Because you were at Myers with Zach.
Yeah, he came and got me from Marquise's house.
Okay. So when he came and picked you up, what kind of car were you in? Or was he in?
He was in a truck. It was either a rental or.
You say truck, what do you mean? Like SUV or like pickup?
SUV.
Okay.
Yeah.
What color was it?
It was either, I want to say either the car he always in, the red one, or he usually have like a rental, a black Nissan type car, but because he come to Columbus a lot. Come see me.
Okay. So he picks you up. Where do you go from there?
The liquor store.
Okay. What happened at the liquor store?
Get a bottle.
Okay.
And leave.
When you say liquor store, you talking Myers?
Yeah, Myers.
Okay. Did you guys try to go someplace else before that?
I mean, I got drunk that night, so I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So, get a bottle at Myers. Leave there. Where do you go?
I think the bar, Marcos.
Okay. But at that point, who's all with you?
Yeah, me and Zach, and we met his girl up there. Beachy. I don't know her whole name.
No, Beachy. Okay. Left somebody out. At least one that I know of. We've got the video from Marcos. Keep that in mind. Who else is with you? You, Zach, and who?
That's it, I think. Oh, Rasheen.
Why leave him out?
I forgot. He was even with us.
He was with you for a while that night. Wasn't just there.
No,
I mean,
he wasn't with us.
He wasn't with you at Myers, but he was with you really for the rest of the night after that. How do you know Zach?
I grew up with him.
So you known him
He's
for a
like
while?
A cousin, yeah.
Okay. You say, are you like real cousin, or are you guys just super close and been close for a while?
I don't know how our blood go back, but if I say we're cousins.
Okay. Rasheen, how long you known him?
Forever.
Been close with him for a while too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, go to Marcos. What's there?
Drink. Then we leave.
How are you getting there at that point?
What you mean, like moving around?
Yeah, like how you guys are. What's that, Zach? Okay. You guys in that red car yet at that point?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Rasheen with you at that point yet?
Yeah, he was with us at Marcos.
Okay. Where did you go after leaving Marcos?
I went to Little Greg's house.
Little Greg, who's that?
Greg Bowens.
Where's that at?
I can't even remember. I want to say he just moved into a house. I want to say like off of Wayne.
Okay. Where do you go after that?
Yeah, he was throwing a little get together for real. I was chilling there with Marquise.
Where'd Marquise come into play at? Zach picked you up at his house, right?
Yeah, I met Keith at his Greg's.
Okay. Where'd you go after that?
I think I stayed. I ain't go nowhere after that.
See, I know that's not true. Because here's the thing, man. At the point that we're at right now, okay, I haven't asked you a question yet that I don't know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're kind of getting off the rails again a little bit and going down towards that Chicago path again. Okay. I can't stress to you how important it is, to be honest. So
I'm trying. Like that night I was drinking, so I really don't remember everything.
And that may have played a little bit into what happened. Okay, but we're not talking about just going out and kicking at somebody's house and having a little bit to drink. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Something that may slip your mind. A month or 2 months down the road. Okay, but on an incident like this, and when something like this happens, I don't care if you're drinking or not. Those details don't fade like a normal
Yeah, I
normal
understand what you're
event.
saying.
Okay, so I know you were down here when this happened. I know you guys stopped someplace else after leaving Marcos. And I don't want to keep going down that track where we're not being completely honest about what happened.
I know what you're saying. I know I was looking too, but I don't remember. I can't recall, like, step for step, everything.
And then tell me what happened when you got down to South Main. I don't believe for a second that when you say that you weren't down there, because I can prove that you were down there, okay? There's not down on South Main where this happened at.
Where he got
At the After Hours place.
I went there, for sure.
I guarantee you were there, and I can prove you were there.
I don't know. I swear I wasn't there. I don't think you can prove I was there. I wasn't there. I
guarantee I can. I can't. You know why I can? And normally, under normal circumstances, shootings that happen at bars, after hours clubs, that kind of stuff, they're a pain in the ass to work, because it's amazing that nobody seems to, normally under normal circumstances, nobody seems to have seen anything. They're either in the bathroom tying their shoes, looking the other way for whatever excuse they can come up with. They say they didn't see what happened. On this one, for whatever reason, we got extremely lucky by finding not one, not two, not three, not even four, multiple witnesses. And guess what those witnesses said?
They see me.
They saw exactly what happened. They all identified you. And you know what? Those witnesses aren't even connected. They're not. It's not like it was a group of people together that has a hard on for you and wants to fuck you for whatever reason. It's not even like that. So what I'm saying is, it's not even a question. That's why I said I'm legit here. I've already ran this by the prosecutor. I don't care if we went to trial tomorrow. I'm comfortable with the evidence we have in this. So when I say I don't need you for anything, I don't need a statement from you to prove this case. But what makes a difference, when it gets looked at by, my opinion doesn't really matter. I mean, I discussed the case with the prosecutor, but when the judge looks at it, when it comes time, to sort this all out in the very end, okay, they look at a lot of different factors. Some of those factors are whether or not you're remorseful about what happened. When I said, do you understand what remorse is? Feeling badly about what happened. And when I talk about we can't change the past, we can't. Okay, we can't go back and make this not happen. But when we look at it, we can figure out the reasons why it happened. And that's where, if I need you for anything at all, it's because I want an explanation from you on the reasons behind it. Because I'm hearing multiple different things. And to be honest with you, all of them are viable. They're all believable. I'm not saying that it makes what happened right. It doesn't. But at least it puts some context around it. And you know what I'm saying? At least somebody from the outside looking at it can grasp that even though what happened definitely isn't right, they can have some understanding about it wasn't just a cold-hearted act that for no reason whatsoever, and whether it be history, whether it be something that happened that night, whether it be, I can go on and on because I'm hearing a couple different things and I think they're all viable based off of the information I have. But I'm not going to put words in your mouth, and because all I'd be doing is I'd just be guessing at that point, and I don't like to guess. So I can prove what happened, who did it, what they did, where they went afterwards. All that stuff I can prove. But when it comes down to it, I can't offer an explanation for you. So that's what this is about, man. And that's why I wanted you. I mean, you had a couple different things going on in Columbus, as far as you had that holder for an old case there, and that goes back in 16 or something, and then you had a holder out of Madison County for some driving stuff. So those were the least of my concerns, and I didn't want you being held there on some petty stuff when I wanted to get back here so we could take care of this. And that's the reason we came and got you today. So some of the stuff that's been going on since then, as far as the threats and stuff like that, all that stuff doesn't make it right either. And especially when you can't be out and taking care of your mom and stuff like that, I'm sure that's scary, and that's a lot riding on your mind too. But I don't know, when it comes down to it, ball's in your court. It's kind of on you at this point.
As you heard the detective say, the ball is in his court. So when we get back from our first commercial break, let's see if he takes advantage of the opportunity to tell the truth.
Some of it, I do believe that you feel badly about it to a certain extent.
Yeah,
From what I'm hearing, okay.
I don't wish that on nobody.
And I'm hearing it from other people, okay. But when we were in the car talking a little bit, I asked you if Coleman told you how we found you, okay. You guessed the internet. Mm-hmm. What makes you guess that?
Because I was on the internet, like. I wasn't like running or nothing. I wanted to stay out.
You weren't running.
I just wanted to stay out.
Hold on. Let's get this straight. You weren't running, but you went to. First of all, I was getting information that you were all over the place. I mean, you have connections to.
I moved around a lot, but
I know more than what is normal, right? Would you agree to that?
No, not really.
What did Janine say anything to you after you left Cincinnati?
Janine, my cousin, no. Like
she didn't tell you that police stopped by there?
My mom told me.
What she had to say about that?
Like, what you mean?
What did your mom tell you about it?
She just told me that the police were looking for me and they came to Janine's house.
What do you think when you heard that? I mean, you had to think you were pretty safe being down there. I mean, at Janine's, right?
I mean, I wasn't like. I only went down there for a little minute.
Why bounce around so much?
Trying to collect some money.
Collect some money for what?
A lawyer. I've been hearing my name.
You're hearing your name.
A lot of names.
You're hearing your name for good reason, and I don't know why this one is different than normally in the past. Okay, I don't know if it's because you're from Columbus and you're not from around here or what. But for whatever reason, like I said, I'm not bullshitting you. I mean, my binder now on paperwork on this is this thick. Okay, and a lot of that is made up with what witnesses at the bar told me they saw, and it's not because they have any kind of grudge against you. It's just they saw what they saw, and
I think a lot of them do, or would. I would say a lot of them would have a grudge on me. I mean, but even though I heard my name, I heard a lot of different names. I heard a lot of different stories. And
who were the witnesses that identified you?
What you mean?
You said the witnesses would have a reason to have a grudge against you. Who are those witnesses?
Because my mom, they talked to some of the family members that she said they saw me there, but one of them she talked to, she said that she really didn't see me. She just heard my name, so she basically just went like she never seen me a day in her life. And
well, I can tell you just what I know. Okay, I know that's not the case because the witnesses. I don't. Whoever your mom talked to, I don't know who that would have been. Okay, but I know the witnesses that I have, and I verified it, and I checked back because I wanted to cover my bases to make sure it's not something where they have a beef with you or Jemiah or somebody in your family, and that's not the case. In fact, I would even go as say the other way that, there's absolutely no chance that they're just trying to bury you and throw a case on you for no reason. And let's say that would be the case with one witness. It wouldn't be the case for 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You know what I'm saying? So those witnesses, we don't even do it in the same room. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they can all hear what A, B, C, and D are saying. Okay.
But everybody talks outside.
Normally, I would agree. Like if at this point somebody comes up, or even let's say a week later or 2 weeks later, I would start questioning that a little bit because especially Lima's a small city with big city problems. You know what I'm saying? So it's small enough where everybody knows everybody, and I could believe that a little bit. That if people start talking, that maybe they would start getting ideas planted into their head, and they were coming from other places and they didn't actually see it, and they were just telling me they saw it. But In this case, those witnesses came forward that same day, within hours of this happening, before they had time to get anything planted in their head or anything like that. So when we start getting that information, we don't just take it as gold automatically, like, hey, this person's 100% telling me the truth. We go back and verify stuff, and we fact check stuff. That's where the surveillance videos come in. That's where the internet records, phone record, all that stuff comes into play. Okay, so once we get those stories, we start doing our own homework and our own digging up the facts to figure out exactly what it is that happened. And all that stuff checked out, and all that stuff points back to you. That's why I said there's no question at all about why this happened, about what happened and who did what. But the why is the only thing that, it's kind of out here by itself right now, because we don't have the answer to that. That's what this is about.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Then why give me some BS story about being in Chicago when all this happened? Why
Chicago,
go to Cincinnati?
I didn't remember.
Why hide out in Columbus when Coleman comes in there and grabs you? Why give him Jemiah's name? Why do all of that stuff? You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff, and right now,
look.
Right now, you got a shovel, and you just keep burying yourself.
I knew my name was brought up. I knew I had a warrant. My son's birthday is the 17th of March. I just wanted to stay out till then, and I know how I looked. I guess I did run a little bit because I wanted to stay out until then, but
it looks that way because it is that way.
Yeah, but I'm just.
I can't get inside your head because here's the thing: the Jemiah thing. When I heard about that, I went back and looked at the reports from that. So I've got all the pictures with Jemiah laying in the hospital bed, all banged up. I've got the reports from that. I've got reports from other incidents between you and Fat Man.
What you mean?
Beef going on between the two of you in the past. I'm hearing other stuff about what might have brought you guys down there. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. What doesn't change is what happened, who was involved, and who was there when it happened. None of that stuff changes.
I know what you're saying. I know exactly how it's looking like. I know y'all.
You want to know what else?
What?
It's not just the witness statements. It's not just the electronic and video evidence and all that kind of stuff. There's physical evidence too. Okay, and that includes a gun that was ditched where you ran over towards that fence across the street. The gun with the slide that was locked back. All that stuff. DNA, ballistics, all that stuff is in our possession, okay? It all gets checked at the lab. So when we have all that stuff, we have physical evidence combined with what I'm saying, there's a mountain of evidence. And that's why I'm saying I'm completely confident in this case.
So what you're saying is it's evidence of me.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
See, it's just hard to believe that because it's not true.
Then why lie to me? Why lie to me straight off the bat?
No, I told you that I didn't know exactly when I was.
No, you were specific. You gave me specific dates of when you were in Chicago that completely surrounded the 29th. You were positive. Not just, hey, I was in Chicago around that day. You gave me specific dates. I know, looking at your record, what's the most serious thing you've gotten hemmed up on? Just that improper handling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, when you compare that to this, I know it's a scary situation and a messed up situation to be in. But the only way out of this right now, man, is just to work our way through it, okay? And the way I look at it, and I think the way that anybody with heart at all is going to look at this, it's going to look like you're going to come across as a cold-hearted person that did an absolute fucked up thing, took Fat Man away from his kids, and just absolutely cold-hearted. So, along with the evidence in this, and part of what I think makes this so strong and so it's going to hit on people's emotions so much is there's a house in the area that has awesome video, that also has audio. Okay, now that house is blocks away from where this happened, but the audio is crystal clear on it. Okay, so along with that, and along with all the statements from the witnesses we had there, we had a rough timeline as far as the order and succession of the shots, because this was a long incident. I mean, it happened both inside, outside. You know, it was kind of spread out. So when you can hear multiple gunshots, those last shots that were fired outside, I mean, that was just listening to it and then hearing the witnesses to match it up with what we can hear on the video. That sounds personal to me. That doesn't sound like, you know, it's just kind of a thing that was done in passing. Okay, the way that sounded to me, it sounded like it was personal, and there was some feeling and some emotion behind that caused it to get to that point, because it's not something that, you know, two strangers that didn't know each other before that, you know, there might be one or two, maybe three shots, something like that. But when you hear bam, 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 and all the shell casings on the street match up with that, all of that stuff goes into this. Okay, so when you start sorting through it, sorting through those details, sorting through what we know, that's what I'm saying. When I have a way that I'm leaning, that I believe what happened, but that's, on the other hand, I don't want to put words in her mouth and make it seem like it's something it's not, but that's the way I'm looking at it, man. Are you cold-hearted and just wanting to take him away from his kids?
No, sir.
And how did it get to this point? Because I know you have more to say, and I know there's more of a backstory. I'm hearing it from other people on the street about why it happened, but they weren't in your shoes. They're not Fat Man. They're not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I need to hear it from you. I need to hear why this happened. I need to be able to go back and tell the prosecutor, hey, this is why it happened. It's not that you were cold-hearted and wanted to take him away from his little baby at home, wanted to take him away from his family. Because just in the amount of time that we're talking, I don't think that's the case. If you look at something from the outside, let's take this incident. If we look at this from the outside and we don't have any kind of context to put it in, it looks like a cold-hearted, fucked up thing to do. But looking at it from the backstory and looking at it from, if you have those other pieces to add into it, I didn't really know what to think because I'd never met you before, so I didn't know what to think when I was going to pick you up as far as your demeanor and your attitude and that kind of stuff. You haven't been an ass. You haven't been difficult to deal with. You've been, for the most part, polite. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you haven't been rude, disrespectful, nothing like that. So seeing your demeanor like that, dealing with me at the jail on the way back, seeing the way you act like that makes me think that you're not necessarily a cold-hearted person, but something's got to switch to go from the point you are right now to get this to happen. There's got to be something that causes that. You don't just go from being a nice dude to doing this. That's what I'm digging at, man. There's got to be a reason why this happened. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying.
So then why did this happen?
I wish I could really, I don't know.
I've got three scenarios in my head that I've heard from people on the outside. All three of them are viable. All three of them are possible. There's a fourth one that's kind of an outlier that I don't really think that happened, but looking at it from outside looking in without knowing any of the facts or the backstory, without knowing any of the things in the report that's this thick, if you don't know any of that stuff, it just looks like a cold-hearted, fucked up thing to do, to fire that many rounds and take somebody's life. Okay? But there's three other options in play. Okay? And all three of those options are viable. All of them are believable based off of what I know, based off of what I've been hearing on the street. I can't put that into a report because I don't know which one of these three, or if it's that fourth one that, hell, maybe I'm off base and maybe that is what happened. I don't know. But I think these three things are completely understandable. It doesn't make it right, and we can't go back and change that. But when you mix emotion and anger and bad blood from previous stuff, you mix that in with a little bit of drinking and maybe some words exchanged and that kind of stuff, shit happens. Stuff like this happens. So the way I'm looking at this, I've been in contact all day with the prosecutor here. He's the one who authorized this charge. We're having some difficulty with Franklin County wanting to release you, or whether or not they're going to make you sit there for their holder and that kind of stuff. The reason I wanted you back here is because before this case is going forward regardless, but before we get to that next step in the process, I don't want to go to that next step unless I absolutely have to without your side of things, okay? Because at that point I'm just forced to give my interpretation, and I don't want to do that because I don't think it's necessarily fair to you if you don't fully understand by...
I understand. I already know I'm out. Everybody made me out to be the bad guy right now. So
you look like
yes, I know.
You look like a cold-hearted.
And my tats, I know.
The tats don't have a damn thing to do with it. Everybody has tats nowadays.
A little bit.
No. Because when I was looking around your page, like on your Facebook page and stuff, you got all kinds of tats on you, tats on your friends, people you hang out with and stuff like that. They're the same people. Like, when I'm looking at you, I see pictures with, they were young kids. How many kids you got? Were those your kids in those pictures? Okay. How old are your kids?
1 and 3.
1 and 3, right. You do anything in the world for them, right? Okay. So that's what I'm saying. When I look at that, it's a new day, okay? Maybe in the old days people look down on tattoos and that kind of stuff, okay? You can't judge somebody by that. But I guess when I look at you, I look at the pictures I saw. It looked like you're a good dad, taking care of your kids, spending time with them. When my involvement started with you, you haven't been... Usually we have two kinds of people that we deal with, and they're either a flat-out dick from the start and just want to be nothing but difficult, or you get somebody like you who's calm, mild-mannered, hasn't caused one bit of problem whatsoever. Okay? So when I look at what I've seen of you in pictures and my conversations with you so far, okay, I don't think you're that other guy, okay? Directing it back to what happened here, we got some explaining to do to paint you in a picture that you're that guy and not somebody that took Fat Man away from his babies. So, help me paint that picture. Give me some kind of explanation. Offer some kind of... I don't know, man. When I go back and talk to the prosecutor...
I just wish it was a way I could show you something. Like, I don't know what to do or say. Like, I don't know.
Well, like I said, I'm not trying to bury you, okay? But what I am trying to do is offer some kind of explanation on a way to make people see you how you truly are and not what happened on December 29th, because I don't think that's the true you.
Definitely not me.
And how did it get to that point? If that's not you, people make mistakes all the time, okay? And we see it especially in my job, okay? When I wouldn't even want to guess on how many number of people that I talk to and that similar situations, okay? May not always be this kind of incident, and maybe something else, but very rarely do we deal with somebody who's just absolutely flat out rotten to the core, that has no hope whatsoever. They just do bad, fucked up shit for all the time. You know what I mean? There's just no help in that person. Okay? But on the other hand, the majority of the time, we talk to people that are on the other end of that. And everybody makes mistakes. I mean, there ain't nobody that's perfect. I make mistakes. You know, there's nobody that's perfect. Okay, but you can't go back and change those mistakes. So either when we go back and reflect upon them and try to handle them and sort through them, we have to be able to offer some kind of explanation that, even if it's not a good justification, at least it offers some kind of explanation that paints a picture for somebody that they can understand what happened.
Did I tell you about my uncle?
Who's your uncle?
My Uncle Max.
Is that who you were with up in Indiana?
Yeah.
As we head to our last commercial break, Jamonte has been relatively quiet up to this point, and as he has sat quietly listening to all of the evidence, witness statements, DNA, and his own history with the victim, a history that gives him a motive to commit this crime, none of that seems to keep him from throwing out an alternative theory at the detective. When we get back from our break, we're going to hear just what exactly Jamonte has been dreaming up and if his theory will end his current nightmare. We'll be right back.
He talking to somebody, one of his old friends that's from down here in Toledo, right?
Okay.
That dude said somebody down there bragging about this right now, saying they did it.
I know that's not true.
I swear to God.
I know that's not true.
Dude, somebody's down there bragging about it right now to my uncle's friend in Toledo, and my uncle's friend told him not to say nothing about it, but he's bragging to his friend about this situation. Honestly, no lie, no, I'm not trying to...
Whatever he's talking about the situation, I don't know who that person is, but it doesn't change anything.
I know exactly what you're saying.
It doesn't change any of this stuff. Okay.
Like, maybe y'all don't got the right. Like,
I know we got the right guy. You could say maybe, you could say what if, you could say all that stuff.
I'm just trying to, like, show you, like, I know what it's looking like with me now, but...
Here's the thing. You know, I know you've been trying to dodge and been on the move for the last, whatever it's been now, 2-3 months, but in that same amount of time that you've been moving about, we've been doing nothing but working on this, okay? Mm-hmm. I mean, we've done our homework on it to get to the point we're at now, okay? It hasn't been something that we just kind of, threw some shit at the wall and see what's going to stick type thing. It's, I mean, we got what we got, and I'm comfortable with where we are. It's not something that I have absolutely zero doubt in my mind that we have the right guy, and it's because of all that evidence. It's because of
everybody saying my name.
Everybody. It's the physical. It's the electronic. I mean, I can go over this stuff all day long. It's all of that stuff combined, man. I know what happened. It's not a question of what happened, who did what. I know all of that. But I can say it till I'm blue in the face, but I can't put those words in your mouth, man. I can't offer up that reason why it got to the point it's at, why it went to this extent instead of just fighting, instead of being fist, and why it went to this point. I don't know. I've got my guesses, and I think my guesses are educated guesses that are probably pretty darn accurate. But when it comes down to it, I don't know, man. It's on your shoulders. It's in your court.
Now, the rest of the first interview would remain the same. The detective repeating the same information, Jamonte claiming it wasn't him. Hey, I value your time, so I just skipped ahead. But they interviewed him 2 days later after his arrest. There were some pretty interesting things that he had to say in that interview. One of those things I found quite comical. Let's listen in.
You smoke again or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't really have any other questions for you, but I do want to go over a couple things. So, what I advised you of in the car last time is basically just lays that out. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you again just to make sure you understand, okay?
The rights are read.
You understand all that? Okay.
So when it says I do not want an attorney with that man.
Basically, all that's saying is, I just need to make sure you understand this, first of all. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. If you want to start talking and you want to stop at any time, that's your right to do that. I can't force you. I'm not going to twist your arm into talking to me or anything like that. So, based off what we talked about last time, I don't really have any other questions for you, but I do want to go over a couple things. So, without knowing the direction things are going to go, I just need to make sure you understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I did not get from you last time, and I don't believe your DNA, I don't know if it was, did they collect it from you when you got the improper handling? Or they probably did it again here.
Yeah.
We always normally do. Okay. Here's the deal. Whenever we send up evidence, so even if somebody's DNA is already in the system, they want a new standard. So I can say for 100% fact, without any doubt, I'm the one who collected it from you on today's date. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. All it is just, I don't know how they do it over there. It's just a swab on the inside of the cheek, and that's it. All right. I'll grab that stuff here before I bring it back down. After we talked last time, you think of anything else that you thought of that you want to talk about, or anything else that came up?
No.
Yeah. I mean, really, the only thing I'm investigating, or the only thing I'm interested in, is just what happened down there at Fat Man. So that's it. No problems over at the jail? No. Okay. They keep you away from. There's some other dudes in there too. I don't know if you'd be having. They're tight with Fat Man, so I don't know. You don't have anybody in your block that's causing problems or anything like that. Nobody messing with you. Okay. Is your mom still getting threats or anything since you've been picked up?
Not that I know of. I talked to her a couple of times on the phone, but I don't think so.
No. Okay. Let me grab the stuff for the DNA stuff real quick. I'll be right back with you. Okay.
So after they collect their DNA samples, they do end up having a discussion, and it gets quite interesting.
Okay. You got any questions for me about what happens next or where we go from here or anything?
Yeah, like, do I go to court today?
I'll check with corrections. I don't know if they'll send you. If you haven't had a bond hearing yet, they'll probably, I'm guessing, you'll have court today. And then your case will be going to grand jury here pretty soon. But I would think you'd probably have a hearing today. I would think if you haven't had one over the weekend. One thing I want to ask you about is that last time we talked, you said that something about you're hearing about some guy from Toledo. You said last time we talked, you said you had heard something about some guy from Toledo.
Yeah.
Where'd that information come from?
My uncle, his friend, he talking to somebody that lives in Toledo now that's from here, and his friend ran into somebody down there that's bragging about this.
Your mom know anything about that?
Yeah. My uncle's friend told him not to say nothing about it.
Well, on the phone call, it sounded like you and your mom, we got the phone calls that you had in Columbus and Franklin County. And it sounds like she's telling you what to say, basically, trying to cover it up for somebody else or trying to put somebody else there. That's the way it sounds on the phone. Not that there truly was somebody else, just trying to come up with a reason that would not put you there, basically.
Oh, that's crazy. So the old jailhouse phone call strikes again. Sounds like mom's trying to find a way to get her son out. But it gets better.
You know what I'm saying? To try to distance yourself from it. So, I don't know. I think that kind of goes back to what we were talking about last time, though, is that it's just kind of another nail in the coffin type thing where it just digs yourself in deeper by trying to come up with a story that isn't possible. And I know what she's doing. I mean, she's trying to keep her baby from facing the consequences of this. But
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean, I see. Yeah, she is trying to. She don't want me to go to jail.
And I get that,
I don't
but
think she gonna try to throw nobody else on her.
Well, that's what I mean. There's no names attached to it or anything like that. I'm saying, from the sounds of the call, it sounds like you're just coming up with whatever you can to try to make it seem like you weren't there, which is where the Chicago thing came from and all that stuff. Until I show you what we have, and then there ain't no denying it. You know what I'm saying? If there ain't nothing to hide, why come up with stories like that?
Like what? Like you think that's
Yeah, I think that's made up. Yeah, the Toledo part. Yeah, that's definitely made up. You can tell that by listening to the calls. It is, man. It's right on the phone calls. It's the calls between you and your mom. All that stuff is fabricated. It's made up. It's not real. It is. I mean, you can't really dispute that. Why think about trying to jump out the window?
What the hell is that? Why think about trying to jump out the window? What's this all about?
When Coleman found you down there. I mean, that takes an awful lot of... I mean, hell. To even think about jumping out of a window, that takes some guts. You know what I'm saying? Why think about jumping out the window? I know why. Because you knew you were finally caught. And you ain't running for nothing.
I'm on probation in Columbus already. I know I'm facing like 2 years already. So.
I don't think it's that big a deal what you were facing in Columbus. I mean, you're looking at your initial charge was for a F4, something you're not even going to prison for. And if it was that big a deal in Columbus, they wouldn't have released their holder for you, for us to come get you. And you weren't on probation when you turned your phone off, and you weren't on probation when you... No, you didn't have the holder out. Like, you didn't have a warrant out when you turned your phone off and all that kind of stuff. You had been showing up. I talked to your probation officer. You had been showing up without any problems until December, until Fat Man was killed. You'd been showing up, no missed appointments, no nothing. And then you just fell off the face of the earth after Fat Man was killed.
I was doing some drugs.
What kind of drugs are you doing?
Weed and Percocet.
How long you been doing those?
I drove dirty like 3 times already for weed. Yeah.
With her? She never violated you for it or what? Because when I talked to her on the phone, she made it seem like you were a model probationer. Like you never...
Only problems I had was the dropping dirty.
Well, talking to her, she seemed like you were the model probationer until December. Which just happens to be when this is. I don't think that's a coincidence. Because if you've been doing good since 2017, 2 years later you just happen to start messing up.
So after allowing Jamonte to have a smoke break, the detective re-enters the room and lays out perhaps the most damning evidence that he's laid out so far.
I want you to listen to something here so you know where I'm coming from. All right. This is the second half of the video that I'm talking about. Just listen, okay? Those are all the gunshots the second round. So when I say that I think this is personal, if it's just a normal, whatever, shooting at a bar, there's not somebody just hanging out and firing that many rounds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe just 1, 2, 3 in passing, but that is at least 6, 7, 8 at least. And that's where my witnesses multiple witnesses have you coming back and standing over top of them and firing those last shots. So those witness statements combined with that's pretty damning evidence. Do you agree? That doesn't look good. And that's the third round. Before that, there was 3 shots outside I'm guessing probably right about the front door. There's more shots inside, and then that's the third round. I only recorded the last couple seconds of the video. The whole thing lasted like a minute 20, minute 40. So that's what I'm saying. After those shots were fired inside, you were already back going across the street to where you guys were parked at. You came back after Fat Man was still up and walking when you finished them all.
In the end, Jamonte McNeil would be sentenced to, get this, only 14 years for the shooting death / cold-blooded assassination of Anthony Bankston. There is one thing that stands out to me from this interview, making the sentence an absolute head-scratcher. It's probably the moment where the detective states that Jamonte actually leaves the crime scene and comes right back to an already shot Anthony Bankston, who is on his feet staggering around, before he, quote, finishes him off. If this is in fact true, 14 years seems like a bit of a travesty, but that's just my opinion. Oh, and I'm dying to know, what do you think about the fact that Jamonte was considering jumping out of a second-story window to escape capture for this incident? I want to thank all of you who are watching these to the end of the video, because I read pretty much all of the comments. I want to see who sees this. If you were around this late in the video, put "I was there" down in the comments. In that way, I know who has my back if things ever hit the fan. Now I must go, and I'll be back soon bringing you new, never seen before true crime action right here on They Caught Me. Till next time.